As part of the NHL's 100-year anniversary, the league sponsored an online vote for the greatest moment of its first century of play, and the bracket-style tournament was an interesting process to follow. Just think of all the things that got notice. Bobby Orr's flying through the air goal that won the 1970 Stanley Cup. Wayne Gretzky's 50 goals in 39 games. Or his 77th goal of the 1981-82 season, which came at Memorial Auditorium. The Fog game at the Audio. Dynasties of teams like the Canadiens and Islanders. Patrick Kane's cup-winning goal in 2010 that snapped the Blackhawks' 49-year drought. The winner was announced at last weekend's NHL 100 Classic in Ottawa, and it was Mario Lemieux's 5-goals/5 ways game against New Jersey at Old Mellon Arena in Pittsburgh on New Year's Eve, 1988. It struck a particular chord to this corner. Just by sheer chance, I was there. Regular readers of this space know I have long had a huge interest in visiting arenas and stadiums, and it dates back many years. Nearly 30 years ago, a college friend and I were talking about the barn affectionately known in Pittsburgh as the Igloo and what it would be like to check out a game there. Scheduling for a couple years never worked to see the Sabres, but the 88-89 schedule included an unusual quirk, a Saturday matinee on New Year's Eve against the New Jersey Devils. A quick ticket master call a couple weeks earlier got a couple tickets and off we went. History wrote the rest. Lemieux had 5 goals and 3 assists in an 8-6 win over the Devils. He had 3 goals in the first 11 minutes, one at even strength, the second on a superhuman shorthanded tally, and the third on a power play. In the second period, the building was up for grabs when Lemieux scored on a penalty shot, and he added an empty net goal just before the horn to cap his day. It was the first time, and remains the only time, a player has scored 5 goals in 5 different ways. Back then, of course, you knew you had seen something special with a 5-goal game. It's only been done 60 times in NHL history, last by Detroit's Johan Franzen in 2011, and only once in Sabres history, by Dave Andreychuk at Boston in 1986. But in the pre-internet days, news didn't travel as fast. We left the game thinking we saw something cool. It might have been a week, maybe even 2, before references started coming out that it was downright historic. Lemieux was already a superstar, still just 23 years old, and would finish that season with astounding career highs in goals, 85, assists, 114, and points, 199. But the Penguins had yet to make the playoffs, let alone with any Stanley Cups, with number 66 in charge. They finally went that season, getting to the second round, and won their first cup in 1991. Lemieux's goals that day were scored with a wooden stick, and Yves looked at it a few times during trips to PPG Paints Arena. It's in Suite 66, a gathering place for high roller fans on the ice level that allows them to watch the Pens enter and exit the ice from behind glass. Lemieux was presented his award last week by Canadiens legend Guy Lafleur during a timeout in the Habs Senators outdoor game, and given a commissioned painting to mark the achievement. How fitting, that was a game that certainly qualifies as a work of art.